welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay, Jimmy. You nailed it.
It's a big one this week.
Oh,
it's a big one. I've been waiting on this one.
I am James Pietragallo here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
This guy, we've been waiting on for about 25 weeks. I think we found him like 25 weeks ago.
Wait.
You brought him to me and we're like, check this guy out.
It's the best thing ever.
He's a complete asshole.
One event made me, I just wanted to cover him just because of that. And then the fact that he actually did go to prison made it so much better.
It got much worse from the one event you saw him and said, we need to get on this guy. It got way worse. Just exponentially worse.
Right.
It's amazing. Hope everyone enjoyed last week's Daryl alums, his trip from mediocrity to homelessness, basically.
That's a pretty good description.
Pretty good description. Yeah. He was an absolute just disaster of a human being. Kind of a light, it was like a light, airy episode. It was
when
like,
the highlight of your podcast episode is the quote, barbecue beef farts. It defines everything that happened in your life.
And it was just a very, very funny trip through craziness there.
That was a highlight for me anyway. I enjoyed just saying definitely. That. But yeah, so
no, but thank you
recapping,
guys.
Thank you guys for listening. There was an influx of new people listening, and if you're back this week, I'm sure you are. How could you not after Barbecue Beef Farts?
Come on.
Thank you for coming back. We're going to have a big week.
New listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Also want to thank everybody for the new iTunes reviews. Those mean the world to us. Thank you guys so much for those. Really nice ones this week. We appreciate them a ton.
I want to
get
say
the shout-outs
thank
later.
you guys for the newest one is the one that touched me the most. It was touching.
Yeah.
I have a black, dark, angry heart, and I almost felt a little happiness for a second.
It was close, but let's be honest, Jimmie.
She found everything that was going on in the podcast, everything that's recurring. She picked them out, and she pointed out fun things about the show.
We appreciate it, guys. We appreciate the hell out of that. It really helps us, go up the rankings and all that. And we have a sponsor joining us this week that we're going to get to in a little bit here, which is going to be fun. We will, and a real sponsor, like a good one. It's awesome. So it's going to be great, guys. Help us out. Buy the shit that they want you to buy, because it's actually good stuff. But
it really is.
Before we get into all of that, besides the fact of sponsors and shout-outs and all that, we have got quite the story for you folks tonight. It's a whole lot of human garbage pile. It's a mess.
And it's all on fire.
It's on fire. It's a dumpster fire. That's just it's a dumpster fire that's only has tires inside, and oily rags that just go up but then sustain burn for a long time.
And then it's surrounded by propane tanks, so the fire department's like, just let it burn.
Well, we're gonna stand
back. And it's
back.
in a shit neighborhood, so they're like, this all needs to come down anyway.
It's fine. It's all good. This man tonight is James Butler. Wait for it. Junior.
Of course. Right.
Of course it's Junior. I know we say it every time there's a Junior, but honestly, guys, everyone.
It's far too prevalent.
Stop naming your children after yourself.
And football players, stop putting it on your fucking jersey. It just gives us an idea to follow you.
You will be a criminal because every one of these Junior, it's pushing over the 25% marker at this point. If a listener one of you crazy bastards wants to compile the list of Juniors, it's a decent list. It's scary.
Too much.
It's a lot. Well, this particular Junior, James Butler Jr., is a boxer and a complete lunatic. Good God, is this a twisted story? This has everything. This is like a Lifetime story mixed with Tarantino, like we said before about somebody else, mixed with what's the word I'm looking for?
Criminal, first of all.
No, it's not that.
No.
Criminal, yeah, that's fine. But I'm thinking more like...
I just like watching you struggle to find it.
It's irony, Jimmie.
All right.
I found it.
All right.
It's irony.
All right.
The irony in this story, in every way, there's so much irony in this. It's just the most ironic tale ever told. Alanis Morissette would shit herself and use it as a toboggan to slide down a mountain because it's
nobody
insane.
knows this one.
No, this is wild. James Butler Jr. is born December 18th, 1972. He's from Harlem. He's a New York City guy.
Yeah.
He is from Harlem. He's not...
Keeps it straight gangster.
He's not from a good home, a good area. His early life is troubled, let's just say.
What year, 75 you said?
72.
72.
December 18th, 72.
So he grew up in the shitty Harlem.
It was bad.
Shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's all
70s.
gentrified and there's
there's
gay
cupcake
people
shops
moving
there.
in. Yeah, there's cupcakes.
There's gays and cupcakes now. It's fine now. But back then, this was hardcore shit.
Criminals.
This was, he grew up in the 70s, and then his teen years were in the 80s, crack times.
Yeah.
We're talking crack times. This is no joke. His father, not around at all, obviously. And once again, we see, doesn't really matter whether you leave or beat the shit out of everyone within your arm's reach. Either way, your child's going to be a disaster if you're not a half-decent father. Or at least, sometimes they leave and it's better, but this one apparently not, because his mother was not much better off.
Fantastic.
It was not much better than the father probably would have been. The mother's not in the house much. She liked to party and do drugs and all that kind of thing. You know, the typical, leave him and he had a little brother named Aaron, and leave them alone together just to fend for themselves.
You watch him.
Again, raccoons.
Yeah.
It's a raccoon family, like Tommy Morrison, basically. It's mother's out, and they're like, well, watch your brother.
Right.
And they leave. Okay.
You watch your brother, and
That's
you
not
watch
the
your
accent
brother.
she has, by the way, in Harlem.
No.
This is a black woman in Harlem. She didn't say, watch your brother now. That's not how she said it at all. But,
watch that little motherfucker. I'll be back.
I don't think that's how it happened. But it wasn't there. They grew up in the projects in Harlem. Not a good place to be anyway. Very, very rough, like we said. He gets in a shitload of trouble as a kid.
Awesome.
Just a lot of trouble. He's always fighting, stealing.
Yeah.
Just basic street dumb shit for a poor kid who's
setting
bored
himself up to be a boxer.
Unsupervised. And we have a quote here from his mother, Velva Gadsden.
His mom's name was Velva.
Velva. Aqua Velva Gadsden here says, quote, James was a very difficult child to raise. He was always so quiet, so withdrawn. He would sit there and I would say to him, Mommy loves you, tell me what's wrong. And James would just sit there all quiet, locking everything upstairs there in the brain and not letting anything out.
You've been gone for 4 days. What do you think is wrong?
Yeah, he's pissed. He's like, I don't have a father. That's number one. Number two, where the fuck have you been all week?
Let somebody play catch with me. If you could fucking be here, that would be helpful.
Where's Aaron? I lost him. I have no idea where he is. I don't know. He took off. He's doing something. He's 7? That's not my problem. You shouldn't have had him. What the fuck do you want from me? I'm 9.
Right.
I have nothing. I have no more responsibility there. They're very, 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 very poor. Also, too, James Butler here, he claims then and later that his mother hit him a lot. It was very strict and hit him a lot, which he probably deserved. I'm not saying he probably didn't. But
frustrated mother, that's what they end up doing.
But at the other hand, you got to think about it this way. On the other hand, maybe if she was home more, she wouldn't have to beat these children. It's kind of bad when you leave for 3 days, come home, beat the shit out of them. It's kind of like, it's hard to form a good relationship.
Maybe just don't come back.
Just leave them.
That's what the kids are thinking anyway.
You might as well. You're gone, and then you come home and you hit them, and then you extend. You go, I don't know what's wrong with that kid. He was just a hard child to raise.
Wish that dad would have stuck around. No, you just wish that you didn't have kids.
After I backhand him, I turned my rings around. Don't worry. After I backhand him, I said, Mommy loves you. What's wrong? He doesn't want to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Strange.
I don't get it. It's very strange. I don't know. Hold on. I have to go get this guy out of the room that I brought home last night. I don't remember his name either.
I made him breakfast. Go get your own.
Butler little James doesn't seem too happy about it. And on the beating here, Mama Velva, as I'm going to call her from now on, Mama Velva on James said, quote, maybe I was too strict with him, too stern. I don't know. I wanted my sons to be strong because the world is cruel. It is chaos. If you are weak, you fall. I believe James fell.
Wow, she's a real poet.
She's a tough woman, boy. She's a hard woman. Like, the world's hard, son. I'll be back in 3 days. Watch Aaron. Okay, and then she leaves.
Here's something to remember me by.
Holy
she
shit.
blasts him in the face.
She smacks him good.
Don't forget your mommy loves you.
There's hamburger helper in the cabinet. No, there ain't no goddamn meat. There's hamburger helper in the cabinet. Make it for your brother. Make it work.
Mom, we don't even have a cabinet.
She lied, and then she's gone. He turns around. There's just a poof of dust. The door swinging closed. Mama! He's mad. James sitting there. He goes to his knees. Mama! Got me again. Holy Jesus. So Mama Velva said that, here's another, I love these Mama Velva quotes up front here. These are my favorite. Mama Velva said, quote, Ma was hanging out. You know what I mean? I don't think James liked that. Ma out partying.
She called herself Ma.
Ma. Ma was hanging out. You know what I mean? I don't think James liked that. I think that's funny. Yeah, Ma out partying. Well, yeah, of course he didn't like it.
He's a child. He wants you.
I don't think it's really that you're out partying so much. It's just that you're not home.
Right.
I think
it's that you're leaving him the fuck alone.
That's the key.
Right.
And it's not to say that the mother has to be home. No one's home. That's the thing. She didn't leave anyone else there. She didn't have like her mom she left there. Hey, sister.
She didn't even call the neighbor.
Yeah, here's your aunt. She's going to come. Nobody. Yeah, not even the neighbor. Hey, can you come by every once in a while, make sure the place isn't on fire? She just said, helper's in the cabinet. Yeah. See ya. And
there's helper in the cabinet. We don't have any water and there's no electricity. So just chomp on that, would you?
Just crunch it. It's got noodles in it. They got to have some kind of vitamins in it for you and little Aaron.
There's a little bit of nutritional value.
I'm telling you, man. It's a fucking disaster. So he's an angry kid. He's in and out of foster care too. Like his mom will lose control of the situation. Yeah. I guess if you're out one day too many, they come by and just pick the kids up for a while. The state comes and goes, all right, you can't just be leaving for 7 days. If it's 6, okay, we can let that slide. But 7, Jesus Christ. Aaron has the rickets. You got problems, lady. Get your ass home. As a young teen here, he gets arrested a lot for little things, kind of picked up, let go, all that kind of shit. Something good happens to him here, though, while he's having one of his meltdowns, and we'll find out why he has so many meltdowns later. Plus, obviously, that the
home life is contributing to the mental problems, right?
There's mental problems, home life problems, lots of exasperating factors here that are going to really...
Fuck yeah.
They're going to fluff it up.
They're simmering right now.
It's basically, someone's standing there just turning the helium up a little in the balloon. So it's just swelling.
Got the pot on simmer, and they're just stirring the flavors together.
It's really this is going to be good.
Do you smell that wafting out of there?
4 or 5 hours. This is once it reduces. Oh man,
do you smell a salt and battery?
What is that? Is that? Oh, that's a heavier crime than that. Even I smell. It's wafting. Ooh, you're going to have to wait though. Let's stir it. You guys, we're going to stir this pot. You're going to have to wait about an hour.
That pairs very well with domestic violence.
It really does. It pairs excellent with first-degree murder and anything else we can find. So, as a young teen here, he's at 155th Street and 8th Avenue in New York City, which is uptown. That's Harlem. And he is very North Harlem, too. He's gets kicked out of a neighborhood fast food joint, basically. I don't know, he's acting up in some way, shape, or form.
Happened.
They boot the kid out. He's pissed off. He's standing outside kicking the glass doors, right? He's just hitting them and kicking them, and he's just in a rage, basically, for getting kicked out. So, he's... No shit, he got thrown out.
That'll get you brought back in.
Yeah, that'll get you brought back. Hey, come on.
All right, we were just funning.
I picture the customers, too, taking bites of their burgers, trying to pretend like there's not a seriously deranged kid with a bad home life kicking the fucking glass. Just kicking it, standing there, just looking at him.
With a pocket full of raw hamburger helper.
Absolutely going, I just asked for some boiling water. I just wanted to cook the noodles for Aaron. God damn it. He needs food. I'm okay, but what about Aaron? Mama hasn't been home in 7 days. So Mama Velv is gone. So a man comes up to him. A guy pops out of nowhere. This guy comes up to him and says, hey, kid, you should be boxing. You got a lot of anger in you. So obviously he's got a lot of... Now, normally this is a bad sign.
Yeah.
Normally, anytime a child is doing something and a grown man comes up to them when they're in a fit of rage and offers some sort of advice, that's a kidnapper,
right,
a molester,
right,
a cult recruiting person, something. This is not good.
Something
usually.
With ulterior motives.
Yeah, usually this is terrible.
There's usual child sex involved.
In this case, this is the only lucky break little James ever got in his goddamn life.
So this guy is legit serious. He's like, that's a hell of a right cross you just threw at that pane of glass.
Absolutely. Why don't you come down to the gym? Come on down to the gym.
I can harness that anger.
That's what he said. You got a lot of anger and you should be boxing. He's a boxing trainer. He's got a gym and everything. And he summons young James down there. And you know, too, I mean, James in the back of his mind, he's thinking he's getting diddled.
Yeah.
He's seen that episode of Different Strokes where the guy in the bike shop takes the pictures of Dudley. He's seen it. He's seen it. He knows that it's happened. That's happened already. Yeah. So he's
Meanwhile, there are
leery.
Dozens of blondes piling off a bus right at this very moment in L.A. trying to get this particular break.
Oh, yeah.
And little 11-year-old James actually gets it.
Absolutely. He gets the break here. And so he shows up at the gym that week. It's the Times Square Athletic Club in Manhattan. And he shows up, and the kid turns out to be a natural puncher. What do you know here? It's Alexander Newbold was the trainer that found him. He's known as Ness around the boxing
He's been practicing
circle.
on the door in his apartment when his mom leaves.
Yeah, he's got just drywall looks like Swiss cheese at home there. Just terrible. Awful. Little Aaron has double black eyes all the time. Mom's scared to come. Maybe that's why Mom didn't come home.
Yeah,
she
she's
wanted
like,
to get punched in the eye.
That motherfucker's a murderer. I'm not going home.
I've been gone for 2 days. He's going to hit me right in the eye. I'm not coming home. So I think I nailed Mama Velva a little more.
I think so. That was close.
Hey, everybody. We'll get back to the story in just one moment, but we just have to tell you about Blue Apron. Blue Apron has come on board as a sponsor, and God, we couldn't be happier. Not only because we have a sponsor, but because the food we get is amazing. I'm telling you guys, this is so great. You got to try Blue Apron. The meals that they give you are things that you wouldn't think to make on your own, but they give you this recipe and everything that could possibly go along with it. You don't need anything. You could have nothing. You could just move into a place and just have a couple of pans and a spatula, and Blue Apron will make it happen for you. It's amazing. Even if you don't know how to cook, step-by-step instructions. It's perfect. For less than $10 a meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. You can't go wrong, I'm telling you. Blue Apron knows that you feel great when you cook with ingredients that are fantastic and you make meals that are of the highest quality standards for your family and for yourself or for whoever you may be cooking for. They get things from artisanal suppliers, family-run farms, fisheries, ranchers. It's great stuff. I'm telling you guys, we had a spicy Asian chicken that was fantastic. From that to a really, really good wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Everything we've had has been just top-notch. You can't go wrong. And the cool thing about it is this box they send you. You open it up and it's just vegetables and meats and fresh herbs and just everything you could need for the meal. One meal even it required flour, and there was a little packet of flour. It has everything. Saffron. Do you have saffron in your house? I don't have saffron in my house. If the recipe requires saffron, they're going to give you a little package of saffron. It's the best. You can't beat it. Less than $10 per meal. You know, if you go to McDonald's or you go to some terrible fast food place, you're going to feel awful afterwards and you're going to spend even more. So don't do that. Do this. All these meals can be prepared in less than 40 minutes. Check out this week's menu for your first 3 meals you get free. Free, with free shipping. Go to blueapron.com/crime. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. That's blueapron.com/crime. Blueapron.com/crime. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Now back to the story. Plenty more craziness coming your way right now. Trainer Bob Jackson, who's one of the trainers in the gym, said of James's fighting when he first came in the gym, he said, quote, "He looked like somebody had just stolen something from him, and it might have been you."
Oh, shit.
He's a bad little man.
So he looked like a kid with a chip on his shoulder.
A kid with a chip on his shoulder and a nasty right hand, and they nickname him the Hammer.
Uh-oh.
They nickname him, he's the Harlem Hammer. That's what they call him.
Does he have a hell of a overhand right or something?
He's got a hell of a right hand, my man, the Hammer over here. Yeah. And he starts amateur boxing in 91.
All right.
So, I mean, he's 19 years
19 years old, yep.
And this was also, too, he needed to find something to do with himself because 1 week before his 18th birthday, he spent 20 days in jail for a petty larceny
surprise.
So, yeah, he's not, he was not on the best road. He's kicking glass and going to jail for petty larceny. Shit's not going great for him at this point.
Yeah.
Mama Velva's out. It's bad times.
She's like, he's 19, he can fend for himself now for sure.
Fuck him, yeah.
But he's going to jail because of it, you dumb broad.
Yeah, so she's in there, and so now he's boxing, which at least he's finding a place for his rage, as we found.
It's true.
We have an in their own words about when he started boxing. Fantastic. Let's see what was going on behind the door.
What's behind the curtain?
What's behind the curtain to find out what the hell he was thinking.
Let's see the wizard.
This is going to be a scary little wizard.
What's the wizard look like? Is he a midget?
See, this is the thing. It feels like right now, this is like in The Wizard of Oz when it goes from black and white to color because we are finding out inside the mind and psyche of this James Butler who, wow, does it get twisted later. So we're laying the seeds here in their own words on why he started boxing. Quote, "I wanted to be something in society, so growing up, I always wondered what I wanted to be. I used to get into street fights and hit people. I went to the gym to learn boxing, and that was it."
Not a lot behind that.
Thank you. There you go. It went from black and white to kind of sepia. Yeah. It didn't really go to color. It was just kind of...
It's a bad Instagram
brown.
filter.
I was like, not that one. No. That's a bad filter.
Keep switching.
Not a bright guy.
No.
And everything you hear of James Butler, the people that like him even, the people that hate him, people that like him, none of them ever say, he's a real smart guy. That never comes out once out of anyone's mouth. Even the people who love him. Yeah. And those are very few people. Right away, he's good, though. 1992, wins a Gold Gloves title. New York City Gold
Right
Gloves
out
there.
of the gate.
Right out of the gate. Near New York State, I think, but out of the city, so that's where all
A
the
year
boxers
into it,
are
he's
from.
already Golden Gloves.
He's already Gold Gloves, yeah. He's doing great, super middleweight. He's like a 168.
That's impressive.
Now, so he gets off on boxing, and now we're going to take a fork in the road here to go down another path. Now, he's boxing. He's, just turned 20 years old, won Gold Gloves. Now we're going to have to back it up a little and introduce another character who's going to come in later on and play a very, very important role in it. Now, first, before we get to this other character, we'll introduce his brother, who some of you may know. If you're sports fans, you probably know who he is. If you're not sports fans, whatever, turn on ESPN. He's got like 3 shows.
You'll find him.
A guy named Max Kellerman. This guy here, he's right now, currently, as we speak, in November of 2016, he is the co-host of First Take on ESPN.
Okay.
First Take is the show that let's be honest here. Okay, here's a take for you. Here's a First Take. First Take is the show where they have people, they get 2 people, and they have them take sides they, I believe, don't even fucking believe in, and have them argue about it, even though they probably agree with each other.
I hate those fucking shows.
It's the biggest load of shit in the world, and also, I'm going to say something kind about Max Kellerman, though.
Okay.
Skip Bayless was on here before that. Skip Bayless is currently on Fox Sports with Shannon Sharp. Yeah. Skip Bayless is the biggest pile of human shit fucking heap I've ever fucking listened to or watched on anything.
As a sports person, it's like, are you fucking serious?
He is Fox News of ESPN, and now Fox. He's a complete... Everything he says he doesn't believe in.
Right.
He says it for ratings.
And money.
And plastic surgery, and his fucking... his sandy washed hair. Asshole, you're 68 fucking years old or however old you are. That man's in his 60s. You don't have
like that.
sandy brown hair anymore. You're not on the fucking beach.
You don't have much hair anymore. Stop it.
No, his hair is like a 12-year-old boy who's been frolicking on the beach all summer, and it just has some little bit of sun bleach in it. Yeah. You fucking asshole, phony piece of fucking garbage. And I've talked shit about him before. I called him a cunt on an earlier occasion when he lambasted the wrong Eddie Johnson for a day and a half.
It was him that fucking did it.
He didn't have the goddamn journalistic integrity to even fucking Google search and find out which goddamn one he was talking about. That's what an asshole he is.
What a lazy bitch.
And he used to be a great reporter back in the day in Dallas. He was an actual good fucking reporter, and now he's a lazy, tan, plastic surgery, hair plug-wearing douchebag. Fuck him, and fuck him completely. And I'm glad he's off First Take. But the thing I have to say about First Take now, Max Kellerman is on it. Sorry for that sidetrack, guys. Look up Skip Bayless. Listen to him speak for 30 seconds. You'll want to reach through the screen and punch him right in the Adam's apple. He's a douchebag. Okay?
His headshots are sick.
They're ridiculous. I swear to God, we have women who are like 60-year-old lady listeners. You will want to rip his fucking throat out if you listen to him for 2 seconds. I don't care. We have Mormons and Christians even that listen somehow. I don't know how the hell they tolerate us, but they do.
They're in.
You'll want to kill this son of a bitch.
No shit.
Not even to get even or anything, just out of pure rage. I'm telling you, not even an eye for an eye. We're not even talking that.
I promise you, your Christ will want you in heaven.
So now Max Kellerman, this poor guy. Max Kellerman, I think, is a smart guy. He comes up as a boxing analyst. We'll kind of get into get into the evolution of Max Kellerman. Started off he's a big boxing fan. Had a public access TV show in New York where he paid $25.
Oh, Jesus.
And they put the thing. And it was amazing, though. It was a great show.
People liked it?
He's super energetic, whatever. The phone lines lit up. People loved him. I mean, and he became a big deal in New York on this public access show. Literally, I mean, it was called Max on Boxing.
People liked it. I can't believe that.
They loved it. Started in 1989, September 8th, 1989. He was 16 years old when he started it. Lasted 9 years. He was doing it. And, people really dug it. Dustin Hoffman called in because he liked it and he was a boxing fan, and he invited Max to dinner. He was a young guy, and he was on the Letterman show when it was at 12:30, before he moved to NBC when it was on CBS later night. Yeah, he was on there because he was like a New York celebrity, basically.
Awesome.
He was that kid on the public access boxing show, and he had all this crazy information, and he's really boxing smart. He knows everything about boxing, the history of boxing, the science of it. He's really, really, versed in that. Also, too, now when he leaves in 9 years to move on to actually get shows on TV, his little brother, Sam, comes into the picture and takes over his show, and it's called Sam Kellerman Live, and he also does a boxing show. Now, okay, Sam and Max they're really tight brothers, basically. They grow up together and everything. They have lots of influence. Their family has lots of influence. Their father's like a psychoanalyst on Fifth Avenue in New York. They're pretty wealthy. They live in Greenwich Village, have a real nice apartment. There's like 3 brothers. They all have their own bedroom. So in New York City, if you're talking the village,
a good picture of New York too.
We're in the village. We're talking narrow, crooked streets, and there's kids with fucking each have a bedroom.
Right.
There's some
They're
wealthy
doing all right.
kids.
Yeah.
And this family actually, like their grandparents died in World War II in the concentration camps and that sort of thing. So yeah, their family's very interesting. They're or one of their grandfather came over here, and they're fighters. These people, man. They're really a good, smart family that's tough, and they teach their kids right. And God damn it, they make me want to be Jewish. I swear to God. When I read these kind of stories, I'm like, God damn it, I should have raised my kids Jewish. I really should have. I fucked up.
Maybe I'd be in Greenwich Village with both my kids having an apartment or having a fucking home room in an apartment.
Exactly, maybe. But unfortunately, I wasn't born Jewish, and it just didn't happen for me. I'm sorry. But if I did, this would have worked out better.
And too, like, people say that, like, Jews, they just do it. That's no shit, because they just figure it out how to be successful, because his grandparents are dead. There's not like shit to inherit,
and they like made it. Kind of racist a little bit.
I think it did, but we're gonna go. That's not what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. No, they came over and they're like, "Hey, we fought to get here.
Yeah, they are fighters for real.
Yeah, now, goddammit, we really have to fucking get it together, and nobody fucked up.
They had
basically.
nothing, and they made something. That's incredible.
No, the whole thing is incredible.
It's a hell of a story.
I'm impressed with this whole family. I'm impressed with all of these people. Now, before I get into the further down the line of the story, I have to say, Max Kellerman, I feel so bad for him now because he has to deal with Stephen A. Smith's bullshit. And I actually watched the show a couple of times, and basically, no matter what Max Kellerman says, he could be like, Steven, I woke up this morning and, it was a beautiful blue sky. And he'd be like, Max, the sky is not blue. The sky is not blue. The sky is not blue, Max. It's pink. And he'd be like, Steven, I just looked out the window. And he'd be like, Max. And he treats him like he's a complete fucking idiot. And meanwhile, he's really well versed, and Stephen A. Smith is like all fat and happy, I feel like, at this point. He thinks he's a journalist because he talks to his contacts. You hang out with some athletes and ask them shit once in a while, and then go fucking every day do speeches at different colleges to pad your salary. Fuck you too.
If you want to hear the best comedy bit ever about him, find the Sklar brothers talking about Stephen A. Smith.
They're great.
It's the most amazing thing ever, how much of a name dropper he is, and
complete
how
asshole.
he runs out of breath.
He's awful. That's all he ever did.
Good.
So I was texting with LeBron. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Stephen A. Smith. LeBron hates you.
He finds every way possible to put fucking celebrity sports players in
when
in his own
LeBron gets a
mouth.
text from you, he rolls his eyes and goes,
This
for Christ's
motherfucker
sake.
again.
But actually, Kellerman is not half bad. On the show, he has to be a douchebag, but from his other shows, he also has to be a douchebag. Around the Horn, all those shows. He had a show called IMAX on Fox. He's had a ton of shows over the years.
Somebody's like, I'm going to talk about this point, and he's like, well, I kind of agree with that, but I have to go this other way because the fucking producers tell me to.
Absolutely. We have to have some conflict.
Stupid.
That would be like if we were on here arguing just to pretend to argue. It's ridiculous.
We would last 2 episodes because I would quit.
Completely. But Max is, he puts up with the shit anyway, whatever. So his brother Sam, though, is... Everyone, from what I hear, Sam's the smarter of the two, even. And Max is very, very smart.
Yeah, Max started his own show at 16.
On boxing, Max is second to none. I mean, he's nowadays. I mean, he's not like maybe Burt Sugar back in the day or something, but nowadays he's second to none boxing, and he's like a machine. Yeah. He's like an encyclopedia. He can rattle off the history. It's incredible. Anyway, but Sam is so smart. Here's a quote from one of his teachers. Okay. This is from Stuyvesant High School, which is like a kind of elite high school for real smart kids. And rich, probably, I assume, too. So anyway, here's the quote. Quote, 10,000 students and 34 years have passed since my first day as a teacher, and I cannot recall one student of this quality, intelligence, and talent. Sam is someone who our world should be proud to know as an example of what humans are all about and of the heights we can attain. Here he is, Sam Kellerman, the best of 10,000.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
He loves him.
That is some kind of fucking Yelp review,
He
isn't
really
it?
loves him.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish somebody would say that about me. I don't even care if it's at my funeral, eulogizing me that way. That's amazing. Yeah.
He said that about him while he was alive, I think. That was amazing. He's like, here he is, the best student I've ever had.
Ever.
I've had the nicest thing a teacher ever said about me was, he'd do well if he applied himself more. I think that would be the best.
My teacher said something like, he showed up. He was here every day.
Mine would all tell my parents, he seems smart. He seems reasonably intelligent.
Which is the thing they have to say about every student.
Doesn't really want to do things. I don't get that.
Right.
Seems to know what's going on.
Right.
Doesn't want to do anything. So yeah, that was my...
Could be the best of 10,000.
Possible. We'll never know because he's not doing shit.
He
But
doesn't apply himself.
not at all. Sam, very smart, like had an 800 on the verbal section of the SATs. You know, he was such a nice guy. Everybody would talk about how he would walk around the neighborhood because this is, you know, down there in the village and all that. There's a lot of old people still down there back in
Harlem,
the day.
you can walk around.
Exactly. Well, also too, like there's a lot of neighborhoods right around there.
Okay.
Old people still live there. He would go around and talk to the old people that like lived by themselves, and just go sit and talk to them and listen to them, and then like he would take them to go run errands, like to the store, and they all said he would walk with them all slow down the street.
Is he trying to earn his
and
Eagle
help
badge?
them. I have no idea what the hell he was
doing?
doing. He's just a nice guy.
Wow.
Like and this isn't. He's doing extracurricular schoolwork. He's got, as we'll get into, what he does in the boxing gym in a minute. All this type of stuff, and he still has time for this sort of shit. Like, everybody in the family said he was the guy who would solve problems and resolve things with people and talk. If two people were fighting, he would talk them into like, hey, why don't we all fix this?
Yeah.
And this is the best way, and make everybody feel good about it. Yeah. He was the lubricator, basically. That was James Butler's the hammer, he's the lubricator. They have different purposes, a hammer and a lubricator here.
If I stumbled upon an old person on their porch asking to talk, I'd chow them for a minute. Even if they said, I have a lot of money to bequeath to somebody, would you just come by every day and chat? I'd be like, yeah, sure. And I'd get in my car and be like, fuck is that guy talking about? No way.
I think he's... It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I think he's gone.
He thinks he's got money.
He's gone. I think he's gone.
It's almost over.
It's so sad, really. He probably has no kids or
anything.
anything.
No way I'm coming around.
His grandkids abandoned him. It's so sad. So Sam is smart here. Let's hear his...
I don't even call my own grandparents. I'll just say that, all right?
Yeah.
I should, but I don't. I'm not talking to somebody that just wants to fucking... I got a wife that does that, just fucking rambles. And it's like, yeah, and I got a nod.
You could see the gestures Jimmy's doing with his hands as he's doing that little
and it's like,
biting clam hands.
You gotta shake my head, yes, and fucking whatever. I'm not gonna talk to old people. That's my point. Go on.
If you're out there... and you're over the age of, say, 67, we'll call it, don't talk to Jimmie, because he is going to shoo you away. If you're in the street, he might run you down with his car. Watch out. Back
it's
up.
Over for you.
Give him a wide berth, because he does not want to hear from you or talk to you or know anything about the 40s. He wants nothing to do with you.
I'm out.
I'm sorry. So Sam is a bright guy, like we said, and here's a quote that he had when he was a teenager. This is a quote that he's arguing with Max about something. They would constantly argue, Sam and Max.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
They're brothers, that's why.
And it was like a see who's smarter kind of an exercise. It wasn't like, I'm going to kick your ass argument.
It's like verbal chess.
It's what it is, basically, which is so much fun. I like this. This is what I like about
brilliant.
Back home. It's arguing is a sport back there, whereas opposed to like, he's a dick and he argued with me and someone stomps away. So here's a quote that Sam had. Quote, sports is man's joke on God. You see, God says to man, quote, I've created a universe where it seems like everything matters, where you'll have to grapple with life and death, and in the end, you'll die anyway, and it won't really matter. So man says to God, quote, oh yeah, within your universe, we're going to create a sub-universe called sports, one that absolutely doesn't matter and will follow everything that happens as if it were life and death.
My God.
So he's thinking deep about shit like sports at 16. Like, this is his quote. Like,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, it was. It really, that's
really
pretty
amazing.
Smart. His head, he was a big thinker for a 16-year-old, and his whole life. He's a real smart kid.
All these
kids are smart. No, that's Sam.
That's Sam. That's the
Sam
younger
Kellerman.
brother.
That's the younger brother.
That's the best
Max.
of 10,000.
That's the best of 10,000. That is not the guy who has to argue with Stephen A. Smith every goddamn morning. But Sam is going to wish soon that he was on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Here's a quote from Max on Sam. Quote, Sam was life's protagonist. Imagine the smartest, most talented person you know in the world. Then imagine the person you love the most. That's the guy, that's my brother. Wow. So that's everybody who knew Sam said that about him exactly.
That's amazing.
From teachers to family to old people on the street to anybody in the world.
I got to start applying myself.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know anyone that would say anything close to that. People be like, he's all right. He was pretty funny.
Pretty good dude.
Yeah, he had that one joke that was pretty good. Let's say that. That would be about it. He made fun of assholes.
He's a dad.
He had some kids, boy. He was fertile. I'm telling you, those sperm work like a charm. Just two of them shot him right out.
He didn't pull out, and they made babies.
It was good. So, Sam Kellerman's senior year of high school. Okay, so he's like 17 years old. He hangs around the neighborhood, and this is when Max goes to college. Max goes to Connecticut for college, and he ends up coming back and going to Columbia in a couple of years. But
Columbia?
Yeah, they're very smart, and they have dough, so they go to Columbia.
Jesus.
So why not go to New York?
Right.
Why not stay in New York if you're from there anyway, right?
Why not live there? It's beautiful.
It's great. Right. Come on down. Go to an Ivy League school.
Right. Concrete jungle.
It's
America's
fantastic.
dream.
So senior year, Sam stumbles into the Times Square Athletic Club, the boxing gym. Don't remember this from a minute
There's
ago?
There's somebody that boxes there.
There's somebody that boxes
somebody
there.
significant.
He finds Alexander Newbold, old Ness, that one guy we know as here. Now, at this point, Sam is 5'8", 130 pounds.
Okay.
He walks in and he's like, I'm going to be a boxer. And they're like, you're a Jewish kid from Greenwich Village and you weigh 130 pounds. You ain't boxing shit.
No.
There are Puerto Rican kids here that would eat your shoes for the opportunity to get into the ring.
And also, too, because they're actually hungry.
They just got here like 3 days ago, and they're super fucking hungry.
They were tired of chewing on the tires that were the walls of their boat.
Your bedroom is bigger than their entire apartment where 12 people live. Do you understand that? Your bedroom that you sit back and you have a TV in there and all that. They don't have a TV for 12 of them. None of it.
And them killing you in the ring is going to make them a little bit of money that they can actually buy a visa for one of their other family members to come here.
Absolutely. So he actually says, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. And Newbold says, I like the kid's balls. You know what I mean? He's a little scrawny shit. Whatever. Hey, let's get it on.
Yeah.
Hang out. So at one point he turns to him when they're standing by the ring and they're watching somebody box. And he says, Newbold asks Sam, you got your mouthpiece? And Sam says, why? And he says, because you're boxing that guy next. And so Sam said, no way, dude. That guy can punch. And because in the ring, it was James Butler. The Hammer. The Harlem Hammer was in the ring.
You betcha.
Popping guys who had just won his first Gold Gloves, too.
You betcha.
And he's like, I don't want to box that guy. And so the guy said, no, you're going to get in there. It's all right. You'll spar with him. Don't worry about it. So he did and got his ass kicked.
Sure.
I think Butler outweighed him by 30, 35 pounds and had 3 inches on him and the whole deal, or 5 inches on him. So Sam, at this point, asks the Newbold, he's like, you think you could teach me to hit like the Hammer? And he's like, no, absolutely not.
That's not teachable.
Yeah, people are born with that kind of pop, is the quote that he tells him. It comes with either birth or years and years of neglect and abuse and an absent father and a crackhead mother.
You got to get out of Greenwich, brother.
And trying to fucking make hamburger helper work with nothing for a little brother. That's how you hit like that.
He boiled his own urine.
Do you understand how that works? And put noodles in it. And,
and ate it.
And talk that fucking kid into eating it. He's got skills that you've never even thought of.
You don't even know.
So Newbold told him, he can't teach him to be a world-class puncher, obviously. That comes with birth, but he can teach him balance and defense and basic boxing
I can
skills.
teach you how to run.
You can run, sir. You can do that.
I can teach you how to run around a square circle and try to get away from a man that can actually punch.
We'll set you up with this big scary man here as practice. That way in the future, you know where to go. So 1995 comes around, they hang out for a couple years, and they start to get close in the gym, actually, which is a strange thing.
The Harlem Hammer and the Jewish Runner?
These two become the most just odd couple ever over rap. They get into hip-hop, and Sam and Max are very much into hip-hop, and good God, we'll get into in a moment here what that manifests into. We wish they didn't like hip-hop so much. And,
or at least to save Sam from whatever's coming, to keep him out of that man's clutches.
You kind of know that something bad's going to happen.
Something bad is happening to Sam.
The subject this week is James Butler.
Yes.
So when we discuss a whole other guy and give his whole backstory, you know there's trouble brewing.
There's trouble coming.
You know he's either going to be, dead or in prison next to this guy or something, have to flee the country.
A big, dangerous black man who has been through fucking hell and back.
is hanging out with this
versus,
kid.
And he's best friends with a little white guy from Greenwich that has everything going for him in his life. The best of 10,000.
The best of 10,000. And the glass door kicker. The two of them.
And they're skipping hand in hand down a Harlem street.
Think about they're presented by each of their backers there. The one guy's like, he's the best at 25 years and 10,000 students. No one as brilliant or talented as him has come across my threshold. Here he is. And then Newbold comes up and he's like,
I'll find water.
I found him kicking the door outside the McDonald's, yelling and cursing at it and shit. And I said, you look angry. And I drug his ass down. That's the difference of these two guys.
You two should be friends.
You two are going to be pals.
Unbelievable.
But they're pals. I guess at one point, Sam was rapping some Tupac. And he heard, Butler heard him and was like, that's Tupac, I know that shit. And they started talking. And so next thing you know, they're running around New York, hanging out, being jerk-offs, which is kind of funny because Butler's a bad motherfucker. Yeah. He can use his hands. And Sam's probably feeling good, like, hey, this is cool. If anybody messes with me, I got this guy ready to help. Yeah. Before that, Max was the guy that used to help him. Max is a decent fighter, actually. Yeah. And he used to help, he used to always, stick up for his brother. Yeah. Now, once his brother here, Sam, also gets into boxing.
Sam was just super excited to be able to sing every word of a Tupac song. Oh, he knew not every word except for the N-word.
And he was like, James got my back.
James said I can say it.
Junior over here got my back. It's fine. I went over his house. I ate the hamburger helper. I'm initiated. It's okay. Yeah, that's right. Boiled urine. How else are you going to make it? There's no fucking running water in that goddamn place. Mama Velva's been gone for goddamn days.
They've got no water, so that urine is so yellow.
None.
So yellow.
Oh, it's really... But we boiled it off.
It's orange.
We boiled it off and we closed our eyes and pretended. It was fine. It was okay. Luckily, the helper tinted it a little.
It was chili, Mac. You wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, so these two are running around, which is just an odd couple to be hanging out, running around, the whole deal. Also, too, 1995, he wins his second Gold Glove, Mr. Butler. So he's doing well.
Two now.
He's got two. Well, also 95, he wins the bronze in the Nationals, he called it, which I don't know if that's some sort of national Gold Glove. Or he's the third best fighter in whatever the fuck that was. I don't have any idea. But
third best of 10,000 at punching people's faces.
He's not bad. Right. Out of 10,000, he's the best face puncher that we have to offer. So he's so good, he turns pro on October 18th, 1996. He makes his professional boxing debut. This is James, not Sam. Sam is not going to box professionally by any stretch of the imagination. He makes his professional boxing debut against Eddie Johnson. Unfortunately, not our Eddie Johnson, Fast Eddie Johnson. So
don't go on TV, Skip, and start running your fucking mouth.
Yeah, exactly. No shit. Skip
don't
Bayless
ruin this guy's career.
This fucking poor bastard. The wrong Eddie Johnson. Again, the wrong Eddie Johnson. Jesus. But this Eddie Johnson, this was also his professional debut. So they put a couple of noob names that never fought before. Butler wins by TKO. The fight's in the Bronx, which, as you know, is the mecca of the boxing world. Yeah. The middle of the South Bronx. So that was October 8th. October 18th. 2 weeks later, November 2nd, he's fighting again.
Wow.
Fights Derek Whitley. Wins by decision in Hartford, Connecticut.
That's
now
a quick turnaround.
He's 2-0. Yeah, he's coming up. He wants to get out there and fight. They're probably
2 weeks training and he's back at it again.
I think they're paying him $50 or something for these fights. So I mean, he probably needs $50.
You bet.
You can get a lot of hamburger helper for $50. So now he's hanging out with Max. Max comes back to the city to go to Columbia. Yeah. Max Kellerman comes back, goes to Columbia, and also, too, Sam at this point enrolls in Columbia also. So they're both going to Columbia, different years. Sam is very much into Shakespeare, but he doesn't take the courses. He just teaches himself 37 Shakespearean works.
What?
He's brilliant. He's writing a book about his grandfather. He puts on plays that he's raises money in funds.
He's the kind of man that can cure cancer.
Exactly. This is the type of guy who would... the sky is the limit for what this guy can do. He ends up trying to be an actor, which is the worst, most vapid use of this shit rather than whatever. But
so he's got an ego.
The Peace Corps doesn't pay very much.
Right.
But also, too, you got to look at his brother ends up on TV. He's doing all this, and he's looking at his brother, and they were always in everything together. Right. They were like
and he thinks
team.
He's better than him.
And everybody's saying Max tells him he's better than him. So, I mean, he's like, I should be doing shit, too. I'd like to be rich. I'd like to have... something.
My own money.
Yeah. So their hubris gets to a point where in the mid to late 90s, I think it's 97, they make a rap video.
What?
They become rappers. Now, they were rapping this whole time. They would, like,
oh my God,
literally try to, like, freestyle with people in the park and shit like that.
So dumb.
How nobody killed these two, I have no idea. Because I grew up in New York in the 90s, and someone should have... I don't know how they didn't get killed, but it's amazing. But, wow, good job, guys. They must have been half decent to not get killed.
I guess.
Apparently, Max was decent, and Sam was really, really good and funny, everybody said. He was real funny. His rap would be entertaining.
Yeah.
People would laugh and shit. And that's
so cute.
And when a little skinny white kid clowns on somebody rapping, everybody loved that shit because it was fun.
And also, too, the Beastie Boys, weren't most of those guys Jewish, or were all of them Jewish?
Yeah.
And they were pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah, they were popular,
They were all
too,
white guys.
But they make a song called Rumble, Young Man, Rumble, as in the whole... They're big Muhammad Ali guys. Max Kellerman got into boxing after seeing a Muhammad Ali fight when he was a kid and then going and reading his autobiography and loving him and fucking quoting him and quoting his poetry around the house and shit. So they call it that. The opening of the song has like a Muhammad Ali sample in it of him talking. It's actually on on a subsidiary of Columbia Records.
Wow.
So they actually somehow
got it
published. You can find it if you look real hard, because I had to really look hard and find it through a link, because the original video is taken down through a third-party copyright claim, it says.
Bastards.
Yeah, I was like,
They just don't want to embarrass anybody. It's bad, huh?
It is fucking terrible. It is terrible. Guys, look it up.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait.
Incredible. As a matter of fact, we'll post a link to it on the social media. Right. The video, we can't find the actual video, but this is the song with their headshot over it, like the two, like their rap album over it, basically the
giant
still shot,
gold chains and shit.
This song
tracksuits,
terrible. Even for the late '90s, it's fucking awful. I gotta say, it's embarrassing.
I can't wait to see it.
It's the worst thing either one of them has ever done, and that includes 9 years of public access television. Not worse than this. So January 31st, 1997, James Butler has a fight at the Yonkers Raceway in Yonkers. Again, just a bastion of glory there. Yeah. He might as well be fighting in Wisconsin like Lee Murray that one time. He has his third fight here now. This is his third pro fight. He comes in 2-0. He is fighting Richard the Alien Grant.
Oh, this is the one.
This is not the one.
No?
This is
that was a rematch?
This is the first fight.
Okay.
Now, Grant only has a few pro fights. They're both new. He loses to Grant by decision.
Oh.
And he feels, as we'll get a quote on this later on, he feels as though he was didn't represent himself as well as he could have in that fight, and he's upset with himself for it. You could tell in this fight, he says anyway, and everyone that saw it said, Grant never hurt him, but he just pointed the shit out of him. He jabbed him. He made a fool of him, basically, with jabs. So after that, he comes back strong, wins his next 4 fights, 2 by knockout, 2 by decision. So he comes through, he's plowing through now. He's 6-1, and this fight doesn't matter at all, but I had to bring it up because he's fighting a guy named Knowledge Bay, which is
his real name.
His name is Knowledge Bay.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. January 24th, 1998.
Rapper.
I'm really happy, as in the Elks Lodge in Queens, New York. So moving up again. Pretty soon you're going to get into a Knights of Columbus Hall. You guys are you're really working. So he luckily knocks a guy named Knowledge out, thankfully.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone cheered.
Yes.
What's his name, Knowledge?
He deserved it.
He needed a punch right in the chin. So this brings...
And so do his parents for signing him to
his
that.
Parents. They weren't around. Are you kidding me? They're probably like Velva.
How could you assign a child that name? That's so fucked up.
Knowledge Bay.
That's such child abuse.
Unreal. So he goes to 7-1 from that fight. He keeps plugging along. He's fighting over the next couple of years, brings his record to 14-1.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. All the way up to, and only the one decision to Grant didn't get knocked out, all the way up to October 29th, 1999, where he actually has a title fight.
Oh.
Not a major title. It's the USBA super middleweight title. It's not like a world title. It's a small little belt.
But it's a title.
It's a title. He's fighting in the Farm Bureau building in Indianapolis, Indiana, which in Indianapolis, that might be like a major building there. The Farm
But it sounds
Bureau.
like they moved the cattle for the fight.
It sounds like there's hay on the ground, and they moved out square dancing before. They had, instead of a barbecue, beef, and basketball, they had like a square dancing and ass-kicking night where they, come on down for the square dancing, stay for the ass-kicking. Come on, folks. Jimmie Stank Juice, half price, 2-for-1 bottle. Holidays are coming up. Get yourself a bottle of Jimmie Stank Juice, the concentrated beef farts of 5,000 lucky spectators. Come on down to the Farm Bureau building in Indianapolis, Indiana. 2-for-1 this week only. So he knocks out Brian Bannon for the USBA super middleweight title on that night.
Title
so now
is his.
He's a champion.
Yeah.
Also, too, I forgot to mention this. He was involved in the rap. He was in the rap. They brought him in the studio because that was their boy.
That he beat up?
No. Butler was in with the Kellermans on the rap.
All right.
I
thought it was Sam and him.
No. Sam and Max.
Oh, jeez.
Brought James in. I meant to mention this.
Okay.
Excuse me, folks. There, but yeah, they brought James in as like, I don't know, street cred.
Legitimizer?
He's from Harlem. I don't know. Like, he's tougher than us.
Stand in the back, please.
Apparently, over the course of the day, they let him rap a little bit, and apparently he got bored by the whole thing. Because when you actually record something, it's not fun.
No.
You actually have to go do shit for a day and do it 700 times, and do it over and over
Listen
again.
to them say the same bullshit over and over again.
And they go, no, a little slower, a little louder. It's a lot of fucking work. Right. So you really got to do it right. And he took off halfway through the day. He doesn't have the patience.
Can't blame him.
Because he has some mental issues also. Yeah. He is bipolar, as we find out, James Butler. Around this time, we find out he's bipolar. Mm-hmm. He has some issues, and he ends up getting these issues checked out, and he is fucked up in the head, pretty good bipolar. If you're bipolar, I apologize to you, but you're not probably doing the crazy shit that this guy's going to do, so it's fine.
Right.
This guy does not keep this shit under wraps at all. But this doesn't come out yet. This point here, after the title win, he wins his next 3 fights.
Wow.
James Butler goes on a run. He's 18-1 after this. He's doing great. He's a champ. He's 18-1. Life is good, right?
Yeah.
From the hamburger helper to kicking the front door at McDonald's because they wouldn't help you make the hamburger helper to this.
Pinnacle of 18-1. That's
so you're
impressive.
A champ. And he's still not making shit for money really or anything, but he's on his fucking way. I mean,
he's knocked out 18 dudes though.
He's going to have opportunities.
Beat 18 dudes.
Yeah, he's going to have opportunities at this point. September 1st, 2001, he goes to Bordenlandhalle, Magdeburg, Germany.
Okay.
Goes over there, fights Sven Ottke for the IBF World Super Middleweight title. This is a real title. Yeah. IBF is a real organization. This is a world championship that's recognized by everybody. Sven is 23-0, the guy he's fighting.
Wow.
23-0, and he's the world champ, and he's not a soft cat over here. He's a pretty bad dude.
It's not a pushover.
And Butler loses a unanimous decision to him, and now he's 18-2.
Right.
And he's distraught, obviously. Yeah. It's bad. That's September 1st, 2001. He's distraught. He comes back to the States. And then September 11th happens after that.
10 days later. In his hometown.
In his hometown.
It affects everything in his life.
Oh, it really does.
It really turns a life that's already upside down, turns it upside down twice to keep it the same way, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It really fucks him, though.
Absolutely. But it also, as horrible as this is, the most horrible tragedy, one of the worst tragedies in American history, also presented him with some opportunity.
Oh.
Because on November 23rd, 2001, they hold a big boxing card that is nationally televised.
So he's saying he came in with his head cutting me up, headbutting me, and I'm going to take it out on him. I'm going to finish this fight, and I'm going to do it right this time.
He came in headbutting me. He's also said I had to really hard. I couldn't make weight. It was really hard I was weak.
He hit me with illegal shots.
If you have to lose, if you have to lose too much weight, you're weak.
Yeah.
Also, so he's saying, he came in headbutting me.
So great.
He's saying he's cheap.
Yeah.
He's saying Grant's cheap, and he's going to get everybody. He's going to get vengeance for justice. This is a night of Thanksgiving, fighting for America. Goddammit. Fighting for America, and he's going to get his justice fight this cheap fighter the right way. Right? We're all on James Butler's side, right?
Yes.
Crime and sports movement.
Absolutely.
We on James Butler's side right now in your car and work in your cubicle. Go. Yes, we are. That's right. We are on his side. Okay. Butler's a heavy favorite going into this fight also, because obviously he's got a good record and this Grant sucks. So Grant frustrates him the whole fight. Grant's got a jab.
Yeah.
He's like not a heavyweight like Larry Holmes, but he's got that Larry Holmes jab that just annoys people, keeps you away. And if you're a fighter that the jab gets to, it will drive you insane.
Yeah.
It will drive you to madness, and you can't get inside on somebody.
And for a guy that's already insane.
This turns into his glass fast food door here this whole night. So he just completely frustrates him. The fight's over. It goes the distance.
Yeah.
It's a 10-round fight.
Yeah.
Goes the distance. Grant's, of course, pissed off, but he couldn't knock him out because that's what he wanted to do. Butler is upset because he wanted to knock Grant out and get his revenge. Grant ends up winning a unanimous decision.
Oh, so frustrating.
Unanimous decision.
That'll drive you bonkers after
the
all
Hammer
that.
is not happy about this. Okay?
No.
They're both on their side of the ring. It is announced the winner is, because that's what they do in boxing. They're both on their respective corners. They announce the winner. He puts his arms up. The other guy goes, oh, shit.
Right.
They do a little circle. Then they come to the middle. They shake hands. They hug.
Right.
At this moment, even Mike Tyson, okay, after he would maul a guy in the peak of his career, when he was at his most vicious, and when he was saying he wanted to eat people's children, I know that was later with Lennox Lewis, but still, when he was at his most vicious, after he would batter you into a bloody submission, he would then come over and hug you and tell you he loved you and tell you you were a courageous fighter and it was an honor to fight you and shit like that. You know what I mean? Even when he lost, he would come over and say like,
some Looney Tunes shit.
Yeah, after he just said an hour ago he was going to eat your children, he'd come over and say it was an honor to be in a ring with you. You're a real combatant and a warrior. He would say it was like insane. Like he would turn into a different guy. Like that was just for the fight. Now we're human beings again.
We're
now,
equals.
The adrenaline has settled into my appendages and I can think again now. Now remember, police chief is there.
Tons of police are there.
Tons of cops. There's 500 cops there. This is also the head of the State Athletic Commission. Lots of important people there. 9/11 fundraiser. So they're in their respective corners. It's announced that Grant is the winner. Now, as they're waiting for the decision, too, they take the boxers, the corners take their gloves off, and they just have their hand wraps on, which is just the tape.
It's just a solid fist.
It's a solid fist.
With just tape across the front of the knuckles.
That's what they do. They're getting in relaxed mode. You want those gloves off as soon as possible. They want to check your hands, make sure you haven't broken anything, too. So the fighters come to the center of the ring after the decision, just like normal. Grant holds his arms out like to hug him, and he's got a smile on his face, and he holds his arms out like, man, hey, good fight. Because after 10 rounds, normally guys are like, man, shit, you get to know somebody. You're grinding on them and, punching them and sweating on them. You know what
they smell like.
You know everything about them. Yeah, you know if you hit them right here, they fart. You know that. You know what I mean? You know what they do. You know their grunts and their groans. It's a sexual relationship by the end of that, basically. So they do this, and while Grant has his arms out to hug the Hammer,
so bad,
Butler hauls off and drills him with a right hand in the jaw.
Cocked.
Right in the jaw.
This is the moment that I saw, and I was like, we're covering that man. I don't care what else he's done. I don't care if he's got one DUI, and this is the pinnacle of his criminal career.
This is nothing.
It's revolting what he does. The punch makes
horrible.
you... Watch it. Find it on
you'll
YouTube.
Find
and
it. Richard Grant,
we'll tweet
James
the
Butler.
clip.
We'll tweet it, but it's out there.
It's vile what he does
insane.
to him. He dislocates his jaw. He cuts the guy's
26 stitches.
26 stitches.
He falls down.
One punch.
Pretty much unconscious because he's got bare fists. Guys, if you don't realize, normally if you see two guys in a bar and one guy hits the other guy, he might fall down, whatever. Even in UFC, they have 4-ounce gloves on and they hit each other and they don't go down. A boxer without gloves on, the difference, and UFC people, you're going to get pissed at me and go fuck yourself. The difference between a professional boxer and a top-tier professional boxer, a champion-level boxer, whose pop comes with birth, as the one guy said, the difference between that and a UFC fighter's punch are the difference between shooting a bullet and fucking throwing it. They're not the same. They're not the same. No. I'm not saying the UFC guy's a pussy because he could also come over and wrap you up and fucking tie you up and kick you in the face. He's got all sorts of skills.
But
that's terrific. And he can hit hard.
That's the difference, though, is that he's focusing on training each of those aspects
disciplines
of the fight. Boxing only requires one, and you have to focus on that.
And also, too, the UFC fighter is the difference between shooting a bullet and throwing it to a normal guy who just hits hard. He's that much better. But a boxer without gloves on, just with a hand wrap,
throwing one punch,
it's deadly. It's
deadly. It can kill you.
And it almost killed this guy. Knocks him out unconscious. Like we said, the jaw thing. They have to take him on a stretcher to the hospital. He's in the hospital like 4 o'clock in the morning getting stitched up. He's a complete disaster.
What's the kicker of this?
What?
Of this event. The kicker is that That's illegal. Not just in boxing.
After the fight.
Yeah, that's 100% illegal. That is assault and battery.
And people go batshit.
Yeah.
The crowd erupts with chants of cuff him, lock him up, cuff him.
And there's plenty of cuffs there.
And that's because the cops chanting it, because they said, hey, he just punched the guy after the fight. We should probably cuff that guy. I think that's against the law still. So the announcers are freaking out too. The announcer's freaking out, saying he should be arrested. He should never be able to fight again. Bob Papa, the one announcer because I think it was on ESPN, he says, quote, that's assault and battery. He should be arrested on the spot. What a punk. The police should come in here and arrest him and handcuff him. He's screaming.
He says that with like vitriol.
Oh, he is pissed. They should come in here, arrest him. He's a punk. Right. He's saying like that.
He rails on him like Joe Buck did on Randy Moss when he fake-mooned the Green Bay crowd.
This is hardcore.
Furious.
Teddy Atlas, the other announcer, said, quote, Butler just went over there and sucker punched and knocked out Grant. Oh, boy. And the new commissioner, Ray Kelly, will do something very, very enforceful here. That was a punch without a glove on. A despicable, cowardly act. Enforceful is not a fucking word, by the way. That is not a word.
Teddy Atlas trying to be smart is hysterical.
He is a boxing guy, so we'll give him that. He might have been hit in the head a few times, Teddy Atlas.
His talking abilities are minimal, though.
So Grant falls to the ground. As we said, blood's pouring out of his mouth. It's pretty goddamn disgusting, honestly. He's taken away on a stretcher, like we said, goes to the hospital. Now, Butler is arrested on the spot. They go in, they cuff him, they take him outside, upstairs, and take him out of the building right there. He spends the night in jail.
Good.
Athletic commissioner and new police commissioner Ray Kelly said, quote, he'll be suspended, the purse upheld, and he's arrested. So,
no money.
Fuck this guy, basically. I don't like it. Later on, he said, too, another quote, he said, it was the only right hand he landed all night. So he even threw a jab at him.
That's fantastic.
It was the only great hand.
Threw a jab. That's good.
See, that's not bad.
I like that.
So Kelly said if he had his way, Butler would never box again. He just says there's nothing redeemable about this guy. He went off on him like he was the devil. Now, November 21st, 2001, this is the very next night. The world is in an uproar over this guy. Everyone's saying he's the biggest piece of shit in the world because it's the biggest cheap shot you could take.
Yeah.
This guy comes at you to hug you, and you sucker punch him. That is, it's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
There's no other way to be a less of a sportsman.
Absolutely. Nobody comes to his defense. Except one person comes to his defense. No, it's Max. Max has the forum. And Max and Sam is because Max has a boxing forum for years now.
Right.
Ever since Sam's been hooked up with Butler, he's been telling Max to talk about Butler. So Sam, as Butler comes up, has been saying, hey, this guy James Butler's pretty good because he knows him.
Yeah.
They're a posse. They hang out together, these three guys. They're a little posse. They're a little shitty little
rat posse.
They're a shitty little rat posse. So Kellerman writes an article at the time for ESPN.com titled, quote, Butler's suspension should be in proportion. And he makes a very, very, very reasonable case for James Butler to not be suspended for life. Because people want him banned for life. Yeah. At this moment, he's suspended indefinitely. They'll figure it out later, basically. He's like Stanley Wilson. Cocaine again? You're not coming back for a while.
Just get out of my sight.
Go to your room. I'll deal with you. I need a glass of wine, then I'll deal with you. I can't deal with you.
I need to calm down.
I need to calm down. I had a rough day at work. So
a man's got 26 stitches.
Jesus Christ.
Go to your room.
Go to your room. God damn it. So he says that they shouldn't try to show how tough the commission is, because they're saying they're going to try to show how tough they are by banning Butler. Max brings up, and rightfully so, a few years earlier when Riddick Bowe, as we all remember, a guy that we will cover actually in the next few months because he did some crazy, wacky shit. But he was a heavyweight champ in the 90s there, had big fights with with Tyson and with Evander Holyfield. Yeah, big fights, Riddick Bowe. Anyway, at the time, Riddick Bowe in 1994 had a fight with a guy named Larry Donald.
Meanwhile, real quick, Riddick Bowe is the coolest fucking name in the history of
naming. It is a cool-ass
name. That's a badass name.
The best boxing name ever is Razor Ruddock.
That's pretty cool.
That's a badass. The last few years boxing, he's like, that's not a lot. He's like, it's not like Tyson where if you suspend him for a year, he made $14 million for his last fight. He's fine. He can sit around and wait for another fight.
Right.
This guy has to go get a job moving fucking refrigerators if he's not allowed to fight.
He lives in New York too. It's so fucking expensive.
You're keeping him from making a living at that point. Grant's promoter, Jimmie Birchfield, that's the guy who got hit, Alien Grant here. Birchfield said, quote, this is about Grant. Quote, he hasn't been able to eat since the fight. This is a week later. I've never seen anyone get hit with a punch like this. Blood squirting out of his mouth. He looked like he was dead.
Yes, he did.
He did. He looked like he was
really
dead.
Did.
It looked like he killed him, which
was entirely possible.
Grant had a great quote on being sucker punched.
A month and a half later, when his tongue was able to operate for speech.
When they took the stitches out of his mouth, this is what he said. He said, quote, "I won the fight. He can do whatever he wants after the fight, but the fact remains that I beat him. Regardless of whether he gets jail time for what he did or not, his boxing career is finished. It's over. He's done."
Wow.
He's like, fuck him.
Yeah.
This guy's not scared. He's a boxer. He's like, didn't hurt me. It's fine. I get punched in the face all the time. No worries.
I'm still alive.
I'm cool. His fucking boxing career is done. I beat his ass. Now, obviously, the major question here that anybody would be asking is, why in the shit did James Butler do this? Why would you do this?
Because he's bipolar.
What are you doing?
Right.
What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Honestly. I want, at this point, him to be hungry and starving and go into a place for something, and there will be the shawarma man. And he will say, "How is it you've come to arrive here? Huh? Why are you here? What you think? Huh? Why are you thinking? You punch guy in face, sign say closed.
Punch guy in face.
Fight over, sign say closed. When fight over, sign closed. You know, come in, you punch him in face. Same thing.
The bell ring.
You want shawarma? I make for you. Fine. Sign say closed. Why you do this? You come here, you have rap video with Jewish people. I don't understand. You punch him? Make no sense. Sign say closed." He was very upset, the shawarma man. But Butler, about it, after the shawarma man questioned him and said, "What the fuck were you thinking? Sign say closed." He says,
had a quote.
In their own words, quote, "Nothing went through my mind. That's the point. It was flatline. I was like dead. I went blank. After I hit Richard, everything clicked back on. It was like fist to jaw, then the noise and the lights, and I could see and hear all the people. It was like I was literally brain dead for a while. If I had been thinking, I would have just walked out of the ring, maybe punched a locker or broken a door or something."
Wow.
Holy shit.
Instead, you broke a jaw, bro.
Instead, you decided to do that.
That's
you
amazing.
Fucking complete moron, psychopath, lunatic.
That's psychotic.
It's beyond psychotic.
That's a detriment to society kind of behavior, though. Like,
oh yeah,
you can't behave like
that's
that.
Some
when
loose
you,
cannon shit right there.
You have deadly weapons attached to your fucking shoulders. You can't just throw those willy-nilly.
Put it this way, how many boxing matches take place on the earth every year?
All the time.
Hundreds of them. This never happens.
It's happening right now.
Decisions go on all the time. The guys are trained for it. They're pros. This wasn't his first fight, and he didn't know there was a possibility he might lose.
Right.
This is a thing. I mean, I don't know. He couldn't take the embarrassment. I don't know what the hell it was, but November 27, 2001, a couple days later, Butler is suspended indefinitely by the New York State Commission. He has 20 days to respond to this with some sort of petition to get back in. He faces up to 7 years in prison for the second-degree felony assault of Richard Grant, because you can't do that, and they're trying to make an example out of him. Now, at this point, he's having these problems. Sam Kellerman and him were tight, and Sam at this point moves out to L.A. in 2002.
Okay.
He's going to try to become an actor.
All right.
And he's doing some stuff. He actually has a little bit of success. He writes a lot of shit too. He's trying to write screenplays. Like I said, he put plays on and that sort of thing. He appears on a British TV commercial for cell phones, a commercial that had Christina Aguilera on. And I don't know what company it was for, but whatever company Christina Aguilera worked for in 2002,
he was in it.
Fucking cell phones. He was in it. He appeared in a Pepsi commercial. He got an audition for the show Entourage, and in 2004 they were bringing him to the set because they were trying to figure out where to fit him into the show because they liked him so much. And he seems like an entourage-y kind of guy, which is not a compliment at all.
No,
but he seems like a great person. I don't want to say that about him. Sam Kellerman seems like a top-notch guy, and Entourage is
he doesn't fit like he seemed like
gaggle
he
of
fits
douchebags.
in that. Right.
That's all it is. Also, too, he's a regular contributor at FoxSports.com, writing sports articles, just like his brother here. You know, he's good at it. He's a great writer, and he's smart, and he knows his sports. Now, September of 2002, back to James Butler, he pleads guilty to second-degree assault charges.
Just to wipe it away.
In September. Because it's on goddamn... You literally did it in front of the police commissioner.
Right.
You don't have any plausible deniability.
No.
Not only is it on television, how many times is out of all the crimes that are committed in the country, in the world, How many of them are literally with the police commissioner sitting front row with a thing of popcorn in his hand while you do it? How often does that happen?
That never happens.
Never. That's the 1 in a billion.
Right.
Remember how I said he was lucky with the guy who was not a molester? No, he's not so lucky. He's back to being an unlucky hamburger helper eating shitbag at this point. Basically, they tell him he's going to serve. The sentence is he's going to serve 4 months. I think it's 6 months, and they tell him you can serve 4 with good behavior, whatever.
4 months for assault.
4 months in Rikers Island too, which is not good.
Wow.
Yeah, Rikers is a shithole. So that's not. Yeah, he wishes he took that fucking punch back. We'll put it that way. He does this 4 months. In December of 2002, he's released from Rikers Island. Because this was in September of 2002 sentence. So basically 4 months later, he gets released from Rikers Island.
A harder man now.
A harder man wanting to get his shit together, okay? Yeah. He begins taking the medication for his bipolar because he wasn't doing that before. He was off his meds. Now, this continually happens when he takes his medication, and this is a reason why he constantly goes off his medication. He fights at 168 pounds. That's his kind of, probably walking around weight's probably 180 pounds. Right. He balloons up to 256 pounds on this medication. So it just balloons. I mean,
like
that's
a steroid or something? Jesus.
It slows down your metabolism.
Good grief.
And he just, I mean, it blows him up. 256 is big for that guy.
Yeah.
He gained 80 pounds, man.
Anybody gaining 80 pounds is a lot of weight.
And imagine how shitty he feels about himself anyway with that, too. He's made to complete an anger management course when he gets out. Obviously, he's going to meetings and bipolar, like, kind of group counseling and things like that, trying to get it together. Absolutely. Now, January 2003, this is the next month, he completes the anger management. He moves down to Vero Beach, Florida. This is a good move. He's going to train with legendary trainer Buddy McGirt. You probably heard of Buddy McGirt. He's a legendary trainer. He's trained a lot of people. Down there, he also meets a girl. He meets a nice girl. They get together. He impregnates her. She ends up having a son with him down there in the next year or so.
Did he name it the third?
So he does not name it the third, luckily, that I saw. Thank fuck. Maybe the girl had some better...
some scruples. She's like, I'm not naming it James Butler.
Absolutely. And she said, too, when he goes down there and starts training, after the medication and all that, he starts getting off his meds so he can train because he needs to cut weight.
Yeah.
So in order to get his shit together, he's got to get off the meds.
Yeah.
So he's trying to basically keep it together with training and mental, but you can't do that. He needs
physical
medication.
therapy rather than chemical therapy.
He needs medication, this guy. Some people just need, I mean, I'm not a big medicate everybody thing, but some people, if you're that messed up in the head and your chemicals are imbalanced, God damn it, take what helps you.
You're dangerous
to yourself.
as fuck.
Never mind everyone else, too, obviously, but you're also dangerous to yourself. Help yourself. So get help out there. We know most of you are mentally ill that are listening. Please get help. We beg of you. But still keep listening. So maybe don't get help because then you won't like us anymore. So we're going to be really controlling and say, don't get help. Listen to the voices. It's okay. Crime and Sports loves you. Keep listening. It's all right. Never mind if your family doesn't like you.
We're your family.
You live in a $5 motel room next to Darryl alums. No problem. We love you. So we have
Mommy loves you.
Mommy loves you. Huh, James Butler? Mommy? I wondered that would have been great if he went down to, next to him and said, James Butler loves you. Why won't you get up? Why are you bleeding from the mouth? And also, too, and this isn't even in my notes, but this is something I meant to just throw out there. In just a contrast of the type of people they are, Sam Kellerman and Mr. Butler here. Butler knocks out Grant. Angrily gets arrested, the whole deal. When he's a teenager, Sam, he is known for, he got in a fight with a kid on the street.
Yeah.
Some kid that was from Albania or something, which was an odd thing. Anyway, he gets in a fight and he cut him open. He cut the Albanian kid open and gashed his forehead.
Yeah.
And so he went into a store and got a bunch of napkins and then came out and helped him with the wound and got it all wet with water.
That's so sweet.
And fixed him up and picked him up and put him on his way.
Good God, he's a saint.
Yeah, that's the type of guy he is and not James Butler.
Right.
So here's a quote in their own words from James Butler on his illness, on his bipolar disorder. He says, quote, "You end up hurting people you love. They try to help you and you flip on them for some small thing. I've taken the classes, read the books. I know what to do. You can reach a level where you don't need medication anymore. You just have to be strong-minded." No. No, as a matter of fact, that is not true at all.
That's not how it works at all.
He felt good one day because he was in a manic state, and he's like, this is great. No, I'm good. You get to a point where you're good, and it's fine, and everything feels great, and it's fine. And then he's Eeyore the next fucking day, and he's sitting there, I just don't want to do nothing. But that day, he was like, no. You get to a point where mentally you just get out there, you exercise, you really take the world by the balls. You know what I mean? You get out there, you do it, you make a rap song. Do it. Let's do it. Hey, who's got an article? I'm going to write an article for Fox Sports. Sam, get me on Fox Sports. All right, good. Let's schedule that next fight. Who wants to hit the heavy bag? Come on, I'm ready.
Sometimes you got to punch this world in the face and get on with your day.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, kick him right in the dick. Let's go. All right, moving on. Ain't nothing going to get me down. No, I got to keep on. Ooh, all right, I know that song. It's a song from the 80s, right? I think it was from the 80s. Yeah, okay, all right, I'm going. Manic James Butler. So, June 2003, 6 months into his training, he petitions for reinstatement into boxing. He's going to try to get his shit together, get back into boxing. They said, let's show good faith that, for 6 months you're just going to train and you're not going to just try to get back in the second you get out of prison, basically. Let's show, hey, look at me, I'm trying to get it together. Right. Look, I can do this.
Show a track record of improvement.
Absolutely. Right. So he has his comeback fight in 2004. Finally, he goes in for reinstatement. Now, the crazy thing about this whole reinstatement is the two people who are the largest, biggest proponents of reinstatement of James Butler into boxing are the Kellerman brothers.
Yes.
Huge. The Kellerman boys are trying to get him back into boxing.
Of course.
They're doing it. They're writing articles. Like I said, you knew about Max's from a couple of years ago. Max continually writes articles. Sam pens an article for boxsports.com that, God damn it, I swear to Christ, Jimmy, I can't tell you. If any of you listeners can find this fucking article somewhere, literally, I scoured for 2 days.
You couldn't find it?
It's gone. They scrubbed it. It's
gone.
And
because he said so much nice things about it.
You're going to know the reason why in a few, but it's gone. He basically says it's an article about his mental illness. That's where that bipolar quote came from, in their own words. The last one was from the Sam Kellerman article. It was about how he struggles with it and how he's doing better and how it was basically a fluff piece on James Butler about how he's mentally ill and he's a good guy and he's just trying to get it together. And that's the
from somebody that's in his life.
Article. Yeah, I saw like a piece here and a quote of it here and things like that, but I haven't been able to see the whole article. But they quote the gist of it all the time. So, and after all this, he gets back into boxing in 2004 through his friends, and he's super excited. His first fight is in the Bronx, and he's like, I'm fighting in New York again. This is crazy. I never expected it, and he's just super happy. He's on a huge manic swing with his boxing, old James Butler. So, February 27, 2004, in the Key Skating Center in the Bronx, which does not, again, sound like the Mecca. It's not Madison Square Garden, exactly. It's not exactly Wembley. So he loses a unanimous decision to Thomas Reed in his comeback fight. Now this brings his record to 18-4. So now he's starting.
Those losses are climbing.
They're climbing. He's starting to now he ends up winning 2 more fights here because that's his first fight in 3 years too. So he might be a little rusty. Whatever. So May and June, he fights in May and June, a month apart.
Wow.
He wins 2 unanimous decisions now. They are over Dan Sheehan and Reggie Strickland. Reggie Strickland is the most legendary loser in the history of boxing. Have you heard of him?
He sounds like somebody that they just toss in there to help somebody pad their numbers.
Okay, well, they've done that a few too many times. Because listen to his goddamn record.
Oh, Jesus.
Jimmy, brace yourself. Crime and sports, people, movement, brace yourself. His record was 66 wins, 276 losses.
Oh, my God.
And 17 draws.
Oh, my God, that's so many losses.
66 wins, he only had like 14 knockouts. 276 losses, only 25 of them are knockouts. So that's how many times this guy's gone the distance.
His ass kicked.
How the fuck is he allowed to keep boxing?
How is he alive?
You cannot be hit in the head in 350 matches and not have
and keep your driver's license.
Unbelievable.
That's terrifying.
He has the record for the most losses in professional boxing.
Wow.
It's like a world record for it.
That's embarrassing.
That's who they put him against. And he couldn't even knock this guy out. Unanimous decision. Then again, this guy seems like he just knows how to cover up and go the distance.
You would expect so.
So anyway, he's still training with McGirt at this point, the trainer that he needs here. He wins these 2 fights. He has another fight set up for August. That's a big fight with Omar Shika, who is 20-6 and is actually a contender. Omar Shika. He's 20-6, but on the upswing of 20-6, not the downswing of like James is 20-4 at this point, and on the downswing of that. But Butler and McGirt, the trainer, part company in July of 2004, a month before the fight. Amicable split. McGirt had to spend more time. He had a title contender with an upcoming fight.
Gotcha.
And he said, I got to put my time here. I don't have time for you.
I can't be out here with you running around with chickens.
You fought a guy with 276 losses. I think you'll be okay without me. You're fine. So he goes. Now in Essex County College in Newark, New Jersey, again, another, just the glamour, Jimmie. The glamour, the glitz, the queen. The queen mother was there. You know, Jay-Z was there.
People got dressed up for this.
Obama, they were all there before he was president.
People wandered in with flip-flops.
He knew. Right. It was, everybody. So they wanted it. This is not the best deal here, but it's actually a decent fight, contender, and they're trying to pump up James as or Butler as like a comeback story. James Butler.
I picture like this fight, but like a carnival barker on the street corner being like, we got boxing inside.
We got boxing. We got a crazy train wreck versus a guy named the Sheikah. So they fight here. Butler ends up losing a split decision in this fight. So he actually fights a valiant fight, loses
Somebody
a split decision.
sided with him.
You can't knock this Butler out. He's got a tough jaw. He's strong. Now, he just basically was not in these fights. His heart wasn't it. If you're not knocking out a guy with 276 losses and, you're a contender, it's not.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
And it's all up in that head of his.
Absolutely. And one of Butler's trainers here said, quote, James was only going through the motions for that payday. James was in the ring, physically speaking. Mentally, he wasn't really there.
No.
He's talking about that after the comeback. It just wasn't there for him. And plus, he wasn't taking this fucking medication, too.
Right.
So
it's
he
hard
was
to be
out
present.
of sorts mentally. Sam Kellerman is in L.A. trying to make it, basically. Butler is having a hard time. Butler claims that in September of 2004, his apartment was destroyed by a hurricane in Florida. And he claims that he had his wife and his son down there, and he had to carry buckets of water to use the toilet, and he brought this whole big horror story, right? So he had moved up to the Catskills for a week to it's where a lot of boxing trainers are, and he was up there with somebody, and then he ended up just shows up in L.A. in September of 2004.
That's wild.
Shows up by himself in L.A. His wife and son, or his girlfriend and son, are still in Florida.
Yep.
He shows up on Sam's doorstep.
I need a place to stay.
Yeah, he says, I'm here. How you doing? Basically, Butler tells him, I have nowhere to go. A hurricane destroyed my apartment. I have an upcoming fight in California, and I need to train and stuff, and I just got here, and I don't know where to go or what to do.
Right.
So Sam, of course, says, hey, come stay for a few days. Yeah, you're my buddy, and he's always trying to help. He had taken someone off the street, and it seems like this guy, he's such a good guy. He agrees to let him stay, feels bad for Butler, made him a key, the whole deal. It's
oh my God.
He's known him forever. I mean, they've known each other since they were kids. And he showed up, and he wants to help him, right? Ends up he thought it was just a few days, Kellerman said. He thought it was just weeks go by.
Oh, God.
3-4 weeks go by. Now it's getting,
Pay rent, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's getting when does this guy leave? It's not even a matter of pay rent. It's a tiny apartment. He lives in Hollywood.
By himself.
He lives in Hollywood. It's a small apartment. He's got no room for this guy. He's a big guy who's bipolar and, kind of a mood swings.
Couch is a little lumpy. You mind if I sleep in there with you?
Man. But he literally has no one to turn to but Sam. Jack Stanton, who was Butler's first manager back in the day, said, quote, boxing was all James really had. Well, boxing and Sam. Yeah. So basically, he's got nothing. He's got no family. Yeah. He's got nothing. He's just got Sam and fighting, and he sucks at fighting now.
Well,
so
he had a girlfriend and a son.
But they're down in Florida somewhere. they're out of sight, out of mind. So after a few weeks, that comes into play as Butler begins to get irritable. Sam starts suspecting that he's not on his medication. He starts to he's acting real high and real low. Yeah. He would say that he hated L.A. and he would complain about Sam's tiny apartment.
Why are you here, bro?
Airport's that way, dude. He said, I haven't held my son in 4 weeks and I don't know what I'm going to do.
I didn't tell you to come here.
Said he would get real depressed and then an hour later he'd be rambling incoherently, just like I did before, and just going crazy. And he's obviously he's not taking his meds. He's having these ups and downs. It's clear what's going on here. Yeah, it's obvious what's going on. So he was getting a little scared of the whole thing here.
Of course.
And also too, after a couple of weeks, Butler told him he told him he was cutting down his meds because he needed to train and lose weight.
Yeah.
But he was really not taking them at all. A friend of Sam said, quote, about this whole situation, quote, Sam really wanted him out, but at the same time felt bad for him. Butler had no other friends, and he told me everyone else had left his life. So he was fucking sad for the guy, and he felt for him, and he kept...
And this odd couple is trapped in a tiny-ass apartment in L.A.
That's the odd couple right there. That is, never mind Tony Randall.
Yeah.
That is the real odd couple there. Yeah, Walter Matthau. This is the odd couple. So October 11th, 2004. He's still there. He came a month ago. Sam comes home from dinner with an actress friend of his named Claudia Salinas.
Hell yeah.
And, I'm sure he wanted to bang this
I got an apartment. Yeah. Come on this way.
Come on over here, honey.
I completely forgot about my unstable roommate.
And then you open the door and you got a crazy man sitting on the couch. And that's literally what happened. He was on the couch watching TV. And so Sam had a deadline for Fox Sports where he needed to write a story about a game. So he said, hey, James, he rushed home to do this. He said, hey, James, could you, this is 2004, that you couldn't stream shit like that on your phone yet.
Find a beach and wander so that I can get on the internet.
No smartphones yet. This was still like texting was cool, and hey, I got a camera, neat. That was it. There wasn't, you couldn't really just browse everything. So there was no apps. So anyway, he says, I need to watch a game for this column I'm writing. Can you please change the channel? And James said, no. Not changing the channel. He was just like, nope, not doing it. So Sam said, seriously, dude, I'm on a deadline. I got to see the end of the game so I can finish this article. Come on. And James said, wait for the commercial. So he's just not being cooperative. No. He's just saying, nope, fuck you, dude. And
you don't live here, man.
Sam's like, shit. Sam doesn't know what to do.
How do you kick that guy out?
That's the thing.
How do you do it?
A, physically, how do you do it?
Right.
And B, emotionally, he's attached to the guy, too. He feels terrible for the guy. They're childhood friends. He feels like he's out here with nobody. In his mind, his apartment got destroyed by a hurricane. He doesn't want to kick him out of the street.
He's got nothing. I got to help him to save his life, in essence.
Already tried to help him with his career.
Right.
So Sam is frustrated. He tells Claudia, his friend, the actress, let's go take a walk for a minute. He tells him, let's take a walk.
You can blow me in my car.
Come blow me in the car. It's fine. My room's off limits.
Like casino.
So he tells her, so talk about veal. So he tells her, quote, it's like that all the time. And they start talking about that. And he told her that he's decided that he has to tell James to leave. Yeah. Has to tell Butler it's time to go. Like, he's ruining my life.
He's got to be somewhere else.
Yeah, he's ruining my life. It's not working here. So that same day, James's boxing manager back in Florida, David Berlin, sends James a money order for a ticket to Florida. It lands
Saving grace.
It lands in Kellerman's mailbox that day.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's ready to go back to Florida. He's finally got a way out. He can go back to Florida. Okay, that's October 11th. October 17th. Let's take a skip for a second. October 17th, 2004. This is 6 days later. Sunday night at 5:45 p.m. Police respond to a call at Max's apartment.
Oh, no.
One of Sam's friends, and actually Max couldn't get a hold of Sam.
Right.
So Max asked his friend who lived in L.A., a guy named Steve Schneider, if he could go check on Max for him. And so he went over, knocked on the door. He said all those shades were down. His car wasn't there.
Yep.
So he just said no. He left, and then he said, no, can you go back again? And he's like, seriously, I can't get a hold of him.
I need you to kick the fucking door.
I need you to figure out where the fuck this guy is, basically. So they broke a window.
Yeah.
Schneider, one of his friends, broke a window, crawled through the window, and they saw some shit. Inside, there was blood all over the walls.
Oh my god!
Spatter style, like
God.
blood spatter all over the walls, and
like somebody was beaten to death.
Like somebody exploded, basically.
Oh Jesus!
Blood all over the walls, and they find a lump under a blanket in the living room.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh shit!
Don't touch that."
No, they jump out of
the fuck
They
out.
get the fuck out. They call the cops immediately. The cops show up at 7:45 to the address here. They burst in. Police detective Elizabeth Estupinian found the body under the blanket.
Yep.
Next to the body, 5 feet away, kind of standing up against the wall, is a bloody hammer.
Oh my god!
A bloody hammer. Okay. So first of all, let's digest.
So hard right now.
You know what, guys? This is horrible, and we're all sitting here with our jaws open. Let's digest the irony and laughter for 1 second. That a guy named the Hammer,
the Harlem Hammer.
We don't know what happened yet.
Right. It's
looking
probably
bad.
Suspected.
The fact that there's a hammer
Definitely
there.
a person of interest.
They said, hey, who was staying here too? Oh, James Butler. Oh, okay. He goes by the Hammer.
Do you mean
Pardon
the
me?
Harlem Hammer?
You mean the Hammer? So, yeah, they find the Hammer standing up, covered in blood against the wall. They also find several areas of burned carpet and wall all over the house. There's several big burns all over the place, too. Like someone tried to set the house on fire in addition to this thing here.
Right.
So, obviously, Butler's wanted for questioning. They're interested in his whereabouts.
Like a little chat.
His car is gone, too.
Sam's car?
Sam's car is gone.
Did they decide it was Sam underneath the blanket?
They found it. It's Sam under the blanket. His skull is crushed beyond recognition. Right. He is a bloody mess under this blanket. It is his 1993 Cadillac Seville with Texas license plates J04GHX is also missing.
Yeah.
That's right, I got that license
That's pretty
plate,
impressive.
That's right, I got much. So Sam's 29 years old, or was 29 years old at this point, so he didn't even make it to 30, which is sad as shit here.
That's terrible.
Now, a couple days go by, they're searching for Butler.
Yeah.
Where's his Butler? Where's his car? They all, they don't know where he is. Now, October 20th, Butler calls the police on himself from the UCLA Medical Center. He has his lawyer with him. He says he doesn't even know where he is. He's so out of it. Has his lawyer tell the police where he is because he couldn't figure it out. The police come and arrest him.
Yeah.
Earlier that day, they had found Sam's Cadillac near the UCLA campus.
Weird.
Nearby.
That's convenient.
Convenient, right? So LAPD Captain Mike Downing said, quote, "I thought he'd be in Florida by now. It was a good break for us." And he's like, "Oh, shit. I don't know. I figured he was gone. Fuck
we got a break in the case. He
right,
called us.
Shit, I guess we'll arrest him then. Fine." So at this point that day, they do the autopsy on Sam
On what's
Kellerman here.
left of Sam.
Cause of death is said to be blunt force trauma to the head, approximately 32 blows from an object consistent with a hammer. Basically, he was, the way they constructed it again, he was sitting at his desktop computer, typing the article, probably more than likely, and he was hit from behind with the hammer. So this guy, he's sitting there typing the article. This guy's, he's trying to help, is at his house. He comes up with a fucking hammer
and drills him.
Let
this be a lesson to you guys. Stop helping people.
Stop helping. Everyone, just stay in your house. Lock the door, roll them up, lock them down, everybody. Just don't let anyone in.
Just you.
It's nothing
this is why I don't want to talk to old people.
What was her quote? Yeah, don't talk to old people. What was her quote? What was
old Velva?
Velva's quote? It's the world because the world is cruel. It is chaos. If you are weak, you fall. I believe James fell. She fucking called it, knocked it right on the nose with
a hammer.
With a big old bloody hammer, kapow, from Harlem. So, 32 blows to the head. And 32, and then how much you'd be tired beating someone
exhausted
32 times. Well, maybe not if you're a pro boxer, but still.
You're still exhausted.
How messed up is that, though?
32.
Goes after him with that. It's one thing if you have this guy did nothing but help him, and then he just said one time, "Hey, dude, you're kind of cramping my style." Right. And he bashes his fucking head in with a hammer within 12 hours of it. It's insane. So, would this have happened if he crossed him at any point in their relationship, or is this just low point?
No,
so
it would have.
Butler's charged with first-degree murder on the 23rd. Okay. First-degree murder and arson, because he tried to set the place on fire, too. He pleads not guilty in court in Los Angeles. A hearing regarding his mental status is set for October 28th. I got an idea. He's fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But he's sane enough to proceed with this. He knows right from wrong, things like that. After the murder, Butler says, his statement on this whole thing, he says he went to the UCLA Medical Center to seek a bipolar group that he could get in and talk about shit. He told police, I don't know who killed Sam. He said, I was on October 12th, I was there, everything was fine, I went out for a short walk, came back, I found Sam dead on the floor. He goes, I come in, there's blood everywhere, Sam's dead on the floor, I didn't know what to do.
Why didn't you call?
So he tells police in his statement that he's so distraught that he had to drink an entire bottle of wine, and he had to cover Sam up with a blanket because it was really difficult to watch TV while Sam was laying there with his skull cracked open. Jesus. That's tough. Because nobody wants to sit there and, you're watching your show and you're like, oh, there's brain on the floor. It's really difficult to do, What a asshole.
This son of a bitch smells so bad.
So he said... He's
trying to watch this cooking show.
Stop decomposing over there. I'm trying to watch this. So he says that he was so distraught, he drank the bottle of wine, and then he went in the bathtub and filled it up with water and started cutting himself with a razor blade, hoping he'd bleed out. Meanwhile, he didn't really have any cuts on him. And if you want to bleed out in a bathtub, you can bleed out in a fucking bathtub. He was just saying that. Says he has no idea, doesn't remember setting the fires at all. No clue about that. Just who knows how that happened. I have no idea.
You forget that.
He's just saying, like, I just went out for a walk, came home. But whatever your excuse is, saying I went out and come back, if you called the police right away, maybe you could have got a hold of him.
Yes.
Then also, too, they found his clothes in a bloody pile in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
He says that's his blood after cutting himself up. But, they have things called
You can test that.
And they said, oh, no, that's all Sam's blood.
Right.
All over your clothes, not yours at all. There's none of yours on here, actually. So it's an odd thing. A Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney, Bjorn Dodd, said of the case, quote, "The most unusual about this is not if Butler did it, but why he did it. There doesn't seem to be any bad blood between the two of them. Everyone was
motive.
Shocked."
Right.
Absolutely. Trainer Buddy McGirt here said, quote, "When he was down here, he was fine. I don't know what happened when he left. I didn't even know he was in California. I had no problems with him at all. He had a lot of potential. He was his own worst enemy. He was hard on himself."
No doubt.
He was his own worst enemy.
And he was hard on fucking Sam, too.
Hard on Sam, too. Jesus. I can't be homeless, crack. So the California State Athletic Commission, by the way, had no record of Butler scheduled to fight anybody in California. He was completely full of shit. He doesn't even have a boxing license in California.
Oh, no.
And the only thing they could get is a promoter briefly talked to him for like a day, but he wasn't picked, and he knew he wasn't picked. So that was when he was already out there.
Oh no!
So he just lied the whole thing. He just had nowhere else to go. Why not just tell the guy I have nowhere else to go? Yeah. Sam would have probably helped him instead.
Sam gave a shit.
He was helping him.
He was the only guy that gave a shit.
Absolutely. So the detective that found the body said, quote, "Through all his troubles, the Kellerman brothers always stood by him. They have really, really good hearts. The Kellermans always gave him a second chance, and it's really tragic." Yeah. Even the cops were like, what a nice guy he was. I mean, Jesus Christ. Sam was a great guy. His whole family loved him, his friends. I mean, he had all these family and friends. Everybody's fucking crushed. Mama Velva's not happy. Mama Velveeta's kid's in trouble. She's in prison. He's in prison now. He's locked up for this.
He's got a son
that
has no dad.
Florida that has no dad.
He's got a girlfriend that's abandoned
Poor
now.
Richard Grant, the alien's got a messed up jaw and everything. People in prison have to deal with this guy now. Yeah. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel so bad for all these people. But Jesus, not even close to as bad as I feel.
It's such a common name.
For these people. We could sit here all night with these. I just picked a few that I thought were fun. I feel bad for James Butler, a running back at St. Francis High School in Wheaton, Illinois, because he's an athlete. 5'9", 195 pounds, possibly going to the University of Nevada on Rivals.com.
Keep on track, fucker.
James Butler, Vice President of Student Recruitment at Shorelight Education in Boston, Massachusetts.
Or a boxer and murderer.
James Butler, a 6'6", 210-pound senior center at the Lake Braddock High School basketball team.
That's a big kid.
Last year, he had a 46-point, 16-rebound game against T.C. Williams High. So
how good is he with a hammer?
We'll find out. Give him a couple of years and some not being on his meds, and we'll see what happens. I wonder if he gets the hamburger helper. So, brother James Butler,
what?
President at LaSalle College Catholic High School in the greater Philadelphia area. He appears to be a priest. He's got a collar on in his picture. So, brother James Butler.
Pretty sure he is.
Pretty sure he's a priest. Wild Bill Hickok, James Butler Hickok.
What?
That's his real fucking name.
His real name was James Butler?
Old West guy, James Butler Hickok.
The first black cowboy.
Wild Bill Hickok's real name is James Butler Hickok. And even though he's been dead for 130 years, he's still ashamed. He's still fucking ashamed. Absolutely horrible. James Butler Jr., senior scientist, section chief of geohydrology at the Kansas Geological Survey in Lawrence, Kansas.
Check his criminal record. He's a junior.
And finally, James Butler Sr. It could be his dad. There's no picture. I have no fucking idea. The mystery is killing me. But he's an associate broker and auctioneer at Century 21 Horizon Realty in Baltimore, Maryland. So if you live in Baltimore, Maryland, look this up, go down there and find out if this is the guy. Say, did you knock a woman named Velveeta up in Harlem about 40 years ago? Because we need
hilarious.
To know. Now, Max on Sam's death, Max Kellerman from television, as we all know here, he said of the quote of Max, and this is sad, he said, quote, "Though it would seem that Sam's fate suggests no good deed goes unpunished. Sam's life did not suggest that at all. It was full of good deeds. Sam believed that life came with the responsibility of empathy and kindness. Mm-hmm. So that was very nice.
That's truth.
He's in jail awaiting. On July 9th, 2005, the judge in this case, Judge Kevin Brown, ruled that there is definitely enough evidence to try Butler on charges of murder and arson. No shit.
Yeah.
His guy's blood is all over his clothes. God forbid.
He's got his car.
There. He had his car. It adds up, let's just say.
Yeah.
So March 27th, 2000, jury selection all set to begin the next day
for
this trial. Get it on. March 28th, 2006, Butler says, hold on a moment here. Let's hold up. First-degree murder?
Please, I can accept.
First-degree murder has a ring to it that I don't care for. Is there anything else we can do with this? So instead, Butler pleads guilty to voluntary manslaughter and arson. His sentencing is set for April 5th, which is a week from then.
I love that they keep that arson tagged on there.
They keep that arson. You tried to burn some shit.
Yeah.
Plus, then he can also get. Then he has to pay back the apartment owner.
Right.
Which is part of his sentence. Also, we'll get to.
A little restitution.
Defense attorney Jack Keenan said, quote, I think it's a fair resolution to the case. He's always been sorry for what he did, and in the end, thought of Sam Kellerman as a friend. Well, he shouldn't have bashed his fucking head in with a hammer.
For a few minutes, he didn't.
That would have been a few very, very important minutes. He didn't quite think
at
of it as
least
a friend.
32 seconds. I'll say
Absolutely. At least 32.
Yeah.
He might have paused and looked around.
Could have taken a breath. He probably took a breath.
He probably did.
Probably stopped and was like,
had a glass of wine. You never know. Change the channel.
Back into this. 17 more.
Where's that blanket? Hold on. Bang, bang, bang. So April 5th, 2006 is sentencing day. Jane Robinson, the spokeswoman for the district attorney's office, said, quote, it's possible Mr. Kellerman asked him to move out or there was disagreement over how long he could stay with him, and it resulted in him picking up a hammer. Mm-hmm. The judge called it a slaughter, is what the quote was.
I would too.
And the judge sentences him to, you, sir, may fuck off. 29 years, 4 months.
Wow.
And that is after taking into account almost 2 years of time off for time served.
And that's a plea
He's already been there. That's a plea bargain. 29 years, 4 months.
Instead
of
life.
fucking around.
Yeah.
And that starts in 2006, so he's in there for a while.
He's still got quite a ways to go.
He's eligible for parole in 2024, I want to say,
something
like that. And he's not getting out.
No.
Also, too, he is required to pay $17,853 in funeral costs to the Kellermans for Sam's funeral, $10,000 to the State Victim Restitution Fund, and $11,882 to the owner of Sam's apartment for damages due to the bloodstains.
If you added
and fire.
that up at home, that's almost $40,000.
That's almost $40,000. He
at
is
the
never
tune of
paying
$1 a day that he's making right now.
Fucking dime for that. He will never, ever, ever pay that in a million goddamn years.
He needs to start selling coke in prison to make that money.
Oh, yeah. Hey, maybe he should. You know what? Talk to Lee Murray. Get a hold of him in Moroccan jail. I bet they can get something going. L.A. to Morocco. Now, his lasting legacy, James Butler, is on the website, thefightcity.com, and this is just representative of all the websites that have such a list. His punch is rated as the #1 all-time worst cheap shot in boxing history.
Awesome.
All time. And they're going all the way back to Jack Dempsey taking a cheap shot at somebody. I'm not fucking around in the 20s. So.
Shaking hands with somebody and blasting them in the face is the cheapest shot you can take. Apart from hitting somebody with a ball-peen hammer in the back of their head while they're typing on a computer.
That might be cheaper. So he has the 2 cheapest shots in the history of the world. Whether it be in or out of the ring.
Well, actually, I would count 33 cheap shots because of those 32.
That's true. Yeah, it adds up to 33. Good job, Butler. 33 cheapest shots in the history of the world. Salute, you fucking scumbag. I hope you rot in fucking prison, asshole. Jesus, good job, buddy.
I hope you find something sharp and open a vein, you dick.
Yeah, why isn't he killing himself now if he's so goddamn suicidal?
You're so remorseful. Fucking end it. We're fine with it.
That is James Butler. We encourage it. Go ahead, asshole.
What a piece of shit.
Go ahead and kill yourself, Dick.
I told you this would be great.
Yes, it was great. I don't like this person at all. And I really like Sam Kellerman a lot.
Yeah, there's no redeeming qualities about him.
And sometimes you're like, oh, that person's the person they killed. And we feel bad for the victims always. But it's like some people are just like, hey, you know what? He was a scumbag and he hung out with scumbags and they all got killed. Sam Kellerman was just a nice guy.
He's the brightest spot in his life.
Didn't fucking deserve this at all.
No.
And you know what? Max is a good guy, too. And, you know, I bitched at him about First Take and all that kind of shit, but he's actually a decent guy, and he tried to do a lot of nice things for a lot of nice people, and he really encouraged Sam to be a good guy, too. And he's a decent guy, and I feel so fucking bad that he has to put up with Stephen A. Smith's goddamn douche fucking ass all the time. Sorry, Max. First your brother dying, now Stephen A. It's terrible. We're going to do some shout-outs.
Speaking of good people.
Speaking of good people, quick. First of all, too, if you want to get shout-outs, also you can donate to our Patreon page this week. All the pens I use, all the note cards are all from Patreon last month. Thank you guys so much for all the money we used for that. Because we spend a fortune. I literally use about 200 index cards, and I try to use the color ones that are thick so I can...
So you can keep some organization in this madness.
In this mess. And
there's more organization in this podcast than there is in James's life.
Oh, God, by far. This is the most organized thing I have. Everything else is on fire.
Not just your life, James Butler's life,
James
too.
Butler, absolutely. Yeah. But if you thank you for the Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. If you want to throw us a few bucks or some cool rewards, and God, we really appreciate it. It really helps keep the show going.
Monica in Seattle did it.
Monica in Seattle did it. A couple other people. And also, too, if you want to get a shout-out, you can contact us on Twitter at Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com. You can get us facebook.com/crime and sports. Join the fun. We all get together. Now the people, all of you guys are getting to know each other. Wedbetter's buying cricket bats from Python
commerce.
Cricket. It's really, there's commerce involved in this, Jimmy. This is great. Through
it's
Crime
amazing.
and Sports. It's awesome. We have some shout-outs.
For all your cricket needs, go to Python.
Go to pythoncricket.com. Jimmy's got some shout-outs here.
Speaking of good people that have done amazing things, Jonathan Gilliard.
The good Reverend Jonathan Gilliard.
He changed his profile on Facebook to the Reverend. Or the Rev.
Now, if you guys don't know the backstory, Jonathan Gilliard is he was a listener, and he's still a listener, but we'd shout him out a couple times, and just the name Jonathan Gilliard, to me, sounded like it should have the Good Reverend before. The Good Reverend Jonathan Gilliard.
He changed his name.
So it's stuck, and we call him the Rev now, and he changed his name on Facebook, and it says the Rev under it. And we fucking love him
hilarious,
for that. God, you're the man, Jonathan Gilliard. You are the fifth horseman, goddammit.
And
5 horsemen.
If you guys don't like that, because what's 5 though? It's so weird. So the 5 of you between Busby and Sean and Monge and who's our other one? Why am I spacing one?
Busby.
No, I said Busby.
Monge, Astoria, Sean
and
Monge, Wedbetter,
Wedbetter.
Sean.
That was the one.
Yeah, Wedbetter's
we'd already
our
talked
guy,
about
man.
him. That's why I forgot. There's another one. Anyway, the 5 of you, figure it out. Figure out whatever 5 is.
Figure out what comes in a group of 5, and you're that now. Enjoy.
And Rory Tulloch and Nina Dressler. Professor P in Glasgow.
Yes.
I'm his only follower on Twitter, I guess. And he was super excited about that. Nia Wrong at Dorothy Damaged. I don't know what that is. That's very...
Rory sent me a nice Facebook message calling me a cunt.
Oh, what a guy.
The first one was, "You're a cunt." And I just looked and I'm like, I don't know this person. I just got called a cunt. And then I'm like, what is this? And then 2 seconds later it says, "But a funny cunt. Big fan of your work." And I'm like, I love this guy. You're the best, Rory.
I'm in.
I love you, Rory.
Chris Brown, Kevin Blake. That guy is verified on Twitter and likes us. I don't know what...
Is that the horse racing guy?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Thank you for the suggestion for the boxer that you put up. We're going to be doing him very soon. Actually, he's great.
Kevin Blake, thank you, and congratulations on being verified.
Yeah.
Rocky Newton, Vasconi, and Big Jeff in New York City, and Amy Keller.
As always,
it's a great week. That was so much fun.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Really, guys, we say it every week. We still don't have a network yet. Right. We're still working on that. We have a sponsor now.
Yeah.
We don't have a network. We're working on it. We're trying to, but you guys have spread this, and you guys are doing an incredible job. Right. Like I said, our listenership this week, we're blown away by it. It's going up every week, and it's thanks to you guys. It's not us. We don't know anybody.
Right.
We don't know a lot of people to go listen to our shit.
Right.
We don't have a big network that we can put things out through. We are 2 idiot comics that go write stacks of note cards and try our best to give you a good story. So thank you guys.
But we do have you guys like. A wrestler tweeted that he didn't know, or he tweeted about Johnny K9, and then Donnie Munsell tweeted back to him and told him to listen to our podcast.
Yeah,
it's things like that.
Thank you,
that
guys.
Expand us.
Tell your friends.
You.
Crime and Sports Movement. It's you guys. We really appreciate it. Next week we have another scumbag coming to you. Jimmy, you want to give them your social media?
Yeah, at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and that bullshit Snapchat.
And I am at Jimmie P is funny. If you want to find me on there, you can find me. My last name's hard to spell. Find me on Facebook through the podcast. But guys, we cannot wait to see you next week, and we are going to see you next week with another guy just as terrible, or lady, you never know, just as awful, just as bad. And we're not sexist. Ladies can commit crimes. See Sally McNeil.
Right.
Love, what is it? Love steroids and pistol grip shotguns.
Grip shotguns.
Go episode 8. Go check it out.
Dudes, what's up? It's your boy Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman. I got the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and I got your Bet Online